Welcome to part number 14 of the Legend of Zelda, the Minish playthrough. Now, as I described in the last video, I do not like this part of the main quest. To be honest, it just feels like a side quest, and it's really tedious, and I just don't have fun doing this. Maybe you have fun doing this, maybe you absolutely loved this part of the game, but I do not. I can't exactly remember what I thought of it the first time, because this was one of those games I kind of grew up with when I was like really young. I think maybe the first time I played this when I was like 7 or 8 years old, so I can't exactly remember my first time playing it. But now when I play it, I just don't like this part. I don't find it fun. I mean, retrieving library books, this should not be part of the main quest. It should be a side quest. But basically, once you get all the library books, you will get the flippers, which will allow you to swim, and then you can get to the Temple of Droplets, and that's the whole point of all of this. So instead of talking about this for 15 minutes or so, I'm going to respond to a message I got a couple weeks ago. I've been saving it for a time where I've had a lot of time to talk about it because it's a really good subject, and I think a lot of people want to hear it, or at least some of you want to hear it. So I'm going to summarize this message because it's really long, but basically the person is interested in doing challenges like I do, and they want to know how I do it. They want to know where to begin, all the steps you need to take, and all that. So in this video, I'm going to explain how I do my challenges, from start to finish. And this will be really interesting if you're into making challenges or you make videos, and even if you just want to learn more about my process. Maybe you're just a viewer that watches YouTube videos and you just want to know how I do it. So this is the video for that. And if you're not really interested, then I suggest you stop watching, because that's what I'm going to be talking about for the next 10 minutes or so. So, a lot of people may think that the first part of doing these challenges is actually picking out the challenge, which I think that is a bad place to start. Because if you just pick out a challenge, you're not gonna... It may be a game you're not very experienced in. Like, maybe if you search the internet for challenges, it might be in a game you're not experienced in. And if you can't do a challenge on a game like you've never played before. Unless it's something really simple, then maybe you can, or maybe you're some sort of expert gamer, but you most likely won't be able to do any type of challenge with a game you've never played before. So the first part of the challenge process for me is picking a game. Now I do challenges a little bit different than other people because I have subscribers send in challenges, so sometimes I go with those, and even then I only do a few of the challenges subscribers send in to me because a lot of them send in challenges to games I've never played or games I've never even heard of, and obviously I can't do those. I have done a playthrough on a game someone sent to me before, so if you send me a game, I might do a playthrough on it, but if I've never played the game before, I'm not going to do any sort of challenge. But for when I make my own challenges, I first pick out a game, and I think it's really important to pick a game you really like, you're well experienced with, like you've beaten it, I don't know, 10, 20 times, like you know everything about the game. You know all the mechanics, the jumping mechanics, the shooting mechanics, or whatever game you're playing, you understand how the game works. That is really important in a lot of these challenges, because if you don't really understand the game, it's going to handicap you. You're going to have a lot of, you're just going to have a lot of trouble, like, getting used to the game. Like, you need to know the game inside and out if you're going to do any type of challenge that's really hard. Because, some of these challenges I do, they are hard, believe me. Actually, if you've listened to some of them, you know they're really hard, and I struggle with a lot of them. And another reason I say to pick out a game you really like is because you are going to get frustrated with the game. trust me, every single game that, or not every single one, but most of the games I did challenges for, I just got angry at the games and I didn't want to play them anymore. Well, I wanted to do the challenge, but you get to that point where you just get so angry that you just want to stop, but you know you want to keep going for that feeling of satisfaction. And sometimes you get so angry that you never want to play the game again. Like with the Gradius 3 arcade mode flawless run, I am never going back to Gradius 3. No way. That challenge was so hard. It made me so angry that I am never ever going back to that game. So I recommend you pick a game you like, just so you don't get so frustrated at it. You at least remember why you like the game. And that's the reason why I pick a lot of the Mega Man games, because I love those games so much, and they mean so much to me, and I couldn't really get angry at them. I mean, I get angry at them while I'm doing the challenges, but after I'm done, I still love the games. So make sure you pick a game that you enjoy, it's fun to you, and it still will be fun to you after you complete the challenge. So once you pick out a game, it's time to make the challenge. Now, you can go about this one of two ways. You can either go on the internet and look for a challenge for the game, which there are some available. I myself have done that before. Examples include the Legend of Zelda Swordless Challenge and the Super Mario 64 Coinless, Cannonless, Capless Challenge. Those were both found on the internet, and I wanted to try them out, and they were both really fun challenges. The other way you can do it is just make the challenge yourself, or make it sort of a variation of another challenge you've done. It can be something really simple, like a Mega Man no damage run. I mean, that's pretty standard. Or it could be something crazy, like the Mega Man Kirby Challenge. You can really make up your own rules, and that's what I really like about the challenge process. With making my own challenges, you can make up the rules and make it as hard as you want, or whatever you want, and to me, that's really fun. And that's also why I like taking subscriber challenges, because some of you guys have really interesting challenges, and they were things that I never would have thought of myself, and I think that's really cool. I like listening to your ideas and trying out the things you suggest to me. Some of you are total jerks, and you send me the most ridiculous challenges ever. Like, seriously, some of the things you guys send me, I would never be able to complete them in like 1,000 years. Like, just a quick reminder, if you're a subscriber and you're gonna recommend a challenge to me, please make it realistic. Like, don't send me something I'm never going to complete. I think at least 15 people have told me to play I Wanna Be the Guy on Impossible. Like, no, I'm never going to beat that, so stop sending that to me, please. Just stop it. So I don't really have much advice on how to make your own challenge. It's really up to you. You have so many different options, and just be creative. I find that the most creative challenges are the most fun. I mean, like the Mega Man no damage runs, those are fun, they're not bad. But I find like the Mega Man X Kirby challenges, I find those to be so much better. They're so much more enjoyable when you put a new twist on a game you're very familiar with. So just brainstorm, think of things you could do with the game. I don't really have much advice for you there. So once you've picked out your game and your challenge, it's time to get started. Now, one thing I like to do with a lot of my challenges is I just like to go find like a guide on the internet and just kind of read up on some useful tips about the game. You might discover something you never knew before. Unless you're a complete master of the game you're doing, I really recommend you just look at a few internet guides just for the standard game. Just look at them, see if you can pick up any useful hints or tips. Sometimes it helps, and sometimes there is even a guide for the challenge you're doing. I had a guide for the Legend of Zelda Swordless Challenge. There was a guide specifically for that challenge, so that made it a lot easier. But most of the time, especially if you're creating your own challenge, there won't be a guide, so you're gonna have to work from scratch. So just do a little bit of research and see if you can find out something you didn't know before. It'll help in the long run, believe me. Just read up and hopefully you'll pick up some handy tips. So after you've read up on your game and all of that, it's time to get started with the challenge. Now, obviously, you can't just go into a challenge you can't just go into it and complete it right away. There's just no way that's going to happen. So what I like to do is I like to do a lot of planning. Now I'm going to use the Mega Man X Kirby challenge as an example because it's just a good example for this. And with a lot of those stages, I went into the stage and I practiced it. I was practicing with the weapon I was going to use. I was trying to manage how much ammo I was going to use in certain locations. I mean, this largely depends on the challenge. Like, if you're just doing a no damage run, then you just need to practice the level, memorize the layout until you get it perfect. It's as simple as that. But with something like the Mega Man X Kirby challenge, you need to do a lot more. Like, you have to manage your ammo and make sure you don't run out and all of that. So it really depends on your challenge, but basically what I'm trying to say here is you need to just go into the stage and practice. Do a lot of practice runs, and then once you feel really comfortable, go do some attempts. And believe me, you're not going to get it on your first try. That almost never happens for me. It needs to be something really easy for me to do it on my first try. Like, for example, Chill Penguin stage. I mean, it's Chill Penguin, so you know I'm going to beat it on my first try. But pretty much everything else, it's going to take multiple attempts, and depending on your skill level, it could take a long time. It could take hundreds of attempts, and it could even take thousands of attempts. It really depends on how hard your challenge is and your skill level. And it's just one thing. Don't even try to do challenges if you have any problems with anger management, because anyone that knows me in real life knows that I'm a really calm person. I do not get angry. Well, I do sometimes, but it takes a lot to get me angry. I am a very calm person, and I don't get very angry at video games. I mean, I do sometimes, believe me. If you've been watching all of my videos, you know I get angry at some of the levels I play. Overdrive Ostrich, for example, I got so angry at that stage. Man, I hated Overdrive Ostrich. It was horrible. But just remember, when you're doing the challenges, just remember, it's just a game. You're playing a video game. There's no reason to get angry. Just remember to calm yourself when you feel frustrated. And a thing I like to do a lot is I like to take frequent breaks. Like, maybe I'll do 5 attempts, and if things don't go well, I'll take a break. Maybe I'll watch a YouTube video or something like that. You never want to just keep playing when you're frustrated, because I find that when you're angry, you don't play as well. I find that I play worse when I'm angry, and I feel like I play best when I'm calm and I'm just focused. But when you're angry, you lose a lot of that focus. You start playing like impulsively. You start rushing, and with a lot of these challenges, it depends on the challenge, but I find that with a lot of my challenges, it's important to take your time. Never feel like you need to rush, unless it's some sort of speed run. I mean, obviously, if it's a speed run, you need to go as fast as possible. But with any other type of challenge, I find that it's very important to take your time. Just take it slowly. Never feel like you need to rush. Just take your time, and I feel like that works very well. That works for me anyway. Maybe a different strategy will work for you. It depends on the person, the challenge, the skill level, all of that. But if you ever feel really frustrated, just take your breaks, of course, but just keep trying. Don't give up, because when you give up, you feel terrible. And Another thing, when you feel like you're gonna give up and then you do beat it, you feel incredible. You get this awesome sense of satisfaction. Like with the Gradius 3 arcade mode flawless run, I was going to quit, but some subscribers told me to not give up and just keep trying, and then once I finally beat it, I felt incredible. And that's a lesson I learned from my subscribers. Just never give up, keep trying, because just don't do it. You want to keep trying, because that sense of satisfaction you get at the end of completing a challenge, it's the best feeling in the world. I feel so great when that happens. And I think that pretty much covers everything. If you have any more questions about the challenge process, feel free to leave a comment below or to send me a private message. Either one will work. And I think I covered everything there. I got most of it. Anyways, we just completed that side quest. We got all of the books. And the books act as a ladder, which will allow you to get to the Elder. I think it's like Elder Librarian or something like that. And just go inside and talk to him, and this will lead to the flippers, which we need to get into the Temple of Droplets. Make sure you fuse with him here. I think you can miss a Kinstone fusion right here. I'm not sure if there are any missable Kinstone fusions, because they kind of like transfer around to different people. It's strange how it works, but I think this may be one that's missable. I'm not sure. Comment down below if you know for sure. But just whenever you meet a new person, just go up to them and press L and make sure they don't have a Kinstone fusion. Some people, you have to exit the room multiple times to fuse with them. Like the teacher at the school in the town does that, I think. And I think that's just stupid, but whatever. And the Elder, he opens up the secret passage and he drops you down below. So in part number 15, we are going to explore the secret passageway. Until next time, this is UAA signing out. I'll see you guys later.